the conversation I had actually yesterday with a high school athlete, and he just had a hip labral repair in the off season, and he's nervous because he's starting to feel in his hip a little bit as practice is starting. But as if anybody's been around high school sports know, that first week of practice is head coach's chance to get the whip and chair out, and they went from no practice basically for the last 2 weeks to 3.5 hour practice in the morning, 2.5 hour practice in the afternoon. And I said, we've done all this work, and you walked, out of here last week with full movement competency, meaning you were pain free, you could do all the things you need to do. So it's not a competency issue. It's not that you're broken. It's that you just don't have the capacity to handle that. And quite frankly, a lot of people don't. That's why your training room is full. And what I try to explain to him is that it's not black and white. And the analogy I gave is when I work with the Giants, you had guys who on the one side of things would let's say that's black, where you're completely shut down, torn ACL, just came out of surgery, you're doing nothing but getting treatment. And then white would be completely clear, no restrictions whatsoever. You could do everything that the coaches are asking you to do, which nobody in the NFL is in that category, right? So I had a room full of people that were kind of in the gray area. They weren't hurt enough that they wanted to go in the training room and have that affect their contract and playing time and so forth, but they weren't really healthy enough to do everything the coaches are asking them to do. So we had to manage that gray area, and there's shades of that gray. So that's where someone like myself, and then having a therapist or a clinician like yourself that we can work back and forth, is managing that gray area is really an art, and it's a tricky thing to handle.